Hi, I'm Jarvis J. I'm a YouTuber from San Francisco, California, and honestly, I'm just hoping to find love. Oh man, this is a YouTube video? Guess I should take off this accent. Much better. Is it much better? I look like somebody was trying to buy Dwayne Johnson on Wish. Today we'll be talking about The Bachelorette, which is a marriage game show where you win true love. That can't be right. Now, I talked about The Bachelor before, which is exactly the same show with the gender swapped, but in case you missed that, all you really need to know is that 30 carefully selected copies of exactly the same person compete for the love of someone they've known for 9 weeks. Last time our star was Colton, a 26-year-old unemployed virgin, and it ended with him being rejected by his final pick and running away. Yeah, that's really what happened.
He just jumped the fence.
Anyway, the Bachelor and the Bachelorette have this symbiotic relationship where somebody who doesn't win the Bachelor goes on to become the Bachelorette and vice versa. And as such, this season, our star is one of the 2 girls from Alabama named Hannah from last season. Specifically, Hannah B.
Hi, I'm Hannah. Welcome to Alabama.
But because the other Hannah still exists in the Bachelor cinematic universe, we're just expected to call this Hannah Hannah B the entire time. The Bachelorette just finished up last week, and it was dumb. I thought last season was dumb, but this season was dumb.
This is the definition of psychopath. That's the complete opposite of me.
So that's what we'll be talking about today, because it's all I can think about. You would think that a show about marriage would have marriage-worthy contestants, right? That's like reasonable to think. No, with very few exceptions, the guys on the show are so bad and also very dumb. Like, you have Hannah, who is this very genuine and cheerful person. She just had her heart broken last season by Colton, who just randomly introduced her to his family super early in the show and then eliminated her.
And I don't know if I'm there.
So now it's Hannah shot at love, and they surround her with the worst guys in the world?
I'm nervous.
Hannah, this package isn't complete without you. How you doing? You look beautiful. I'm
In a box.
It's in a box. Out of the box. Out of the box.
The Bachelor is apparently known for its cringy introduction. Some may recall last season where a girl showed up in a sloth costume and didn't break character for way longer than was necessary.
It's a sloth.
And this season is no exception, because the cringe started before the show even did. At the end of last season of The Bachelor, they announced Hannah as the Bachelorette and then introduced her to her first few guys to like tease the new season. The first of which introduced himself by rapping.
I just wanted to say, when they said it was you, it was a pleasant surprise. Now I'm standing here looking straight in the eyes. All the other dudes got me feeling so stressed, so I say all aboard Hot Mess Express.
This is Cam, and he's the first sex god heartthrob that I want to talk about today. In Cam's official bio for the show, they identify him as the life of the party. What parties is this guy the life of? Because I would like to avoid those parties. It also says he can freestyle rap about anything. I mean, maybe he can freestyle rap, but should he?
So take my hand and let's go for a ride. This is the only time an Aggie's gonna say roll tide.
And for some strange reason, Hannah is really into it. So when it comes time to formally introduce him in the show, he raps again.
I gotta keep it fresh like I'm coming out the limo. What you know about me? This the rap demo. It's your boy Cam and I'm back on the mic. I'm trying to live it up like I'm living the hype.
Bars! Impressively, Cam's wordplay is enough to propel him into the finals of the show. Just kidding, he's promptly eliminated. But hey, not all the guys are bad. There's Mike, a Navy vet who's hilarious and good and far and away the best person on the show. He's also the most obvious pick to become the next Bachelor because of course he does not win the show as he is a nice person. Then you have Tyler C., a 26-year-old contractor from Jupiter, Florida who takes care of his sick father and is also chiseled out of stone. I'm pretty sure Tyler came out of the season more popular than the Bachelorette herself. To throw in another goofy, there's John Paul Jones, a human Pokemon who is only capable of saying his own name.
My name is John Paul Jones. My friends call me John Paul Jones.
Okay.
So you can call me John
John Paul Jones.
John Paul Jones. That's it.
What a lovable meme person. Going back to the serious candidates, we have Peter, a sentimental pilot who also fucks.
Okay.
But we'll get to him later. Unfortunately, I don't have time to introduce you to all the candidates because there's 30 of them. But fortunately for me, neither did the Bachelorette because most of these guys never get any screen time. They will regularly cut to a guy that you've never seen before in your life only to find out that he's getting eliminated this week.
Hannah, gentlemen, it's the final roast tonight. When you're ready.
John Paul Jones.
Like, who is this guy? Has he been there the whole time? Just kidding. That's not a contestant at all. That's YouTuber Danny Gonzalez. He's not a bachelor, he's married. But you see what I mean though. He just blends right in. Okay, you can go now. Thanks, Danny. Even the frontrunner and eventual winner of the show, who we haven't talked about yet, barely gets any screen time because this one random dude, I'm sorry, villain, dominates the entire season. Have I said spoiler alert yet? Spoiler alert. These episodes are like 2 hours long. I hope nobody is binging The Bachelorette. Anyway, who is this guy taking up all the airtime, you ask? Is he a 7-foot hero Adonis whose good looks and wit place him so far ahead of the competition that you wonder why they didn't just end the show after episode 1? Or is he a mastermind villain that uses his superior intellect and cunning to maneuver his way into Hannah's heart? Hannah Hart? Well, neither. He's a 5'9" Bible study leader with an anger management problem and big Napoleon energy. Also, he looks like a Bitmoji. He looks like a Bitmoji. I don't know who said this at first, but I think I read it on Twitter, but it's true. Oh, and his name is Luke P, because of course it is. Luke P, as far as I can tell, has no redeeming qualities other than the fact that he's religious, and I guess Hannah's into that because he manages to make it to the final 4, all while being super manipulative and awful.
I've told you nothing but the truth, and I'm gonna continue.
1000% honest.
Yes, I would never lie to you.
I bold-faced lied.
He's not even like a good villain that everyone loves to hate, like Plankton or Squidward. Look, I don't know a lot of villains, but this guy is just a manipulative and aggressive man-child that uses the fact that he and Hannah are both religious to shield him from any criticism. Shall I give some examples of why Luke P is dumb and bad? I hope so, because that's what I'm about to do. Stick around for that happening right now. Number 1, he looks like a Bitmoji. I already said that. Number 2, they go to Rhode Island for some reason to play rugby. Obviously. Honestly, I've forgotten a lot of the details, but Luke P just randomly body slams this cute little golden doodle of a person.
This is the kind of guy who might, like, God forbid, might, like, you know, hurt someone.
Today we fight! Today they die!
Today they die.
Come on, Connor!
He doesn't have the ball. We can see it right here in the background. Also, they definitely added in like a punch sound effect from an action movie.
Come on, Connor!
And then Luke P tries to make it seem like he was defending himself against Luke S. Oh, by the way, they're both named Luke.
Despite how you think that you feel, you're the cause of her not being our happiest right now.
Actually, I'm not the cause.
Bars. Obviously, his defense doesn't work with any of the guys because this Whittle guy means no harm.
And to me, I genuinely thought I was defending myself because
Luke?
he pulls up.
You defending yourself against Luke S?
Except it does work on Hannah somehow, and she takes his side and eliminates the other guy. Number 3, when Hannah finally does eliminate the Bitmoji man, he decides to not respect her wishes when she says no and just walks right back onto set.
I didn't get a rose, but Hannah said she still wants me to be here.
Like, how is that allowed? The producers wanted some drama is how. Number 4, there's this part where he puts like bologna in somebody's lap. It's very weird.
You know what this is right here? This is a pile of bologna. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell this is. He's just so easily aggravated that everybody starts trolling him. It's kind of great.
She asked me what has been going on lately.
You are a weasel.
I'm a weasel.
Weasel or a snake is the best way to put
A
it.
snake.
Yeah.
Really?
Luke, psychopath, the snake, man.
I've been nothing but truthful with Hannah, and you are not gonna mess it up.
Okay, number 5. Luke finally gets eliminated during the fantasy suites, which is supposed to be when all the couples, how should I say, bow chicka wow wow. And Luke, in his infinite wisdom, tells Hannah that she shouldn't sleep with any of the other guys.
I just want to make sure you're not going to be, sexually intimate with, the other relationships here.
Because it's not what a good Christian girl would do.
If you told me you're having sex or you had sex with one or multiple of these guys, I would be wanting to go home.
And then Hannah's like, wait, what? And Luke is like, yeah, remember how I'm super controlling and use my religion as a weapon? I'm doing that right now. That's what I'm doing. And then Hannah's like, oh, wait, no, I'm realizing just now that I don't like that, actually. And she tries to eliminate him.
I do not want you to be my husband. Luke, please, come on.
And then Luke P is like, remember how the thing with me is that I don't leave when you tell me to because I don't respect you or your boundaries. Also, I'm 5'9", and every time I instigate something with one of the other guys, they stand up to reveal how outclassed I am physically. I'm also a bad representative of short kings everywhere. Yep, that's me. And then Hannah's like, well, me and Peter f***ed in a windmill.
Say what?
Twice. And then, and I'm not joking, the bar that I was in erupted into applause. And by the way, after this happened, they had a live show where people were wearing windmill merch, so that's odd. But hey, Luke P was finally defeated. Just kidding, he came back again.
Hannah thought, after sending me in the van, that there's no way I'd want to be with her anymore.
Yeah, what a weird thought to have.
After the last thing she told me, and she's sadly mistaken.
Is anyone else getting serial killer vibes? Like, he's not, this isn't like a movie villain. You're sadly mistaken.
She doesn't realize that I still love her.
No, she knows.
She doesn't know it yet. But I'm on my way, and I'm coming.
Someone call the cops. Imagine you like you pull up your phone, and you've got a message from this guy that's like, you weren't expecting it, but I'm coming. That is like, that's a threat, that's harassment. This should not be like played up for drama.
I want to prove to her how serious I am about this.
And then he just casually has an engagement ring as if the producers didn't just hand that to him for the shot. Now I'm gonna need you to look directly into the camera like you're filming this yourself, despite the fact that we do have a camera crew here. And why don't you just give us your deadest, craziest eyes? Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, and take this ring. Imagine Hannah chooses this guy and then breaks up with him and he's just like standing outside her door because he needs to get a few things off his chest. But the show keeps playing with it like it's not as serious as it is. Like, they got him a van, they gave him a ring, they took him here. They told him when filming was. He didn't just like, he didn't just break in.
Why are you here?
I need to talk to you real quick.
No.
I'm just gonna do a little supercut of him standing his ground because it's I don't even want to make fun of it because it's like so upsetting.
Go.
Hannah, I'm gonna stand here all day until
No, you're not.
I need clarity right now. I'm not leaving until I at least have closure.
You will leave because I've already sent you home.
How relationships work is through communication.
Well,
And listen, I'm...
On the bright side, I guess Hannah gets to have another moment of like completely shutting him down.
All right.
And then the guys who are all, you know, bigger, taller, stronger than him finally step in, and he looks so confused as to what like the problem is.
Lay your hands off me.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? So, Hannah,
Yeah.
what do you want?
What do you mean, what do you want? She's eliminated him twice. This is so stupid.
This is all up to you.
No, it's not, honestly, because she said that like 1,000,000 times.
And I was clear the other night.
There's something unsettling to me about the fact that like we just keep subjecting Hannah to all these dudes who are just like putting her in these ridiculous and like emotionally manipulative situations so that it can be the most dramatic season yet or whatever. Like, Hannah posted on her Instagram stories that when she got overwhelmed, she would just stare at a wall. And like, the visual is pretty funny, and I'm glad that she's able to make light of it, but like, This is truly dark. And then the show, finally realizing that everyone hated that guy, also they're complicit for condoning his toxic behavior for a whole season, subject him to a very awkward Q&A with Chris Harrison, the 9,000-year-old Time Lord that hosts the show.
If I could go back, I wouldn't change a thing.
Nothing.
Where the guy can't even answer simple yes or no questions.
Is that the type of woman you want? Is someone you can kind of put on the shelf in a glass case and pull down when you need?
Just give me a second, Chris. Okay. The last thing that I want, and the last thing I'll ever do, is control a woman. Although a man is supposed to lead and guide a woman in the relationship.
Ah, there it is. And then they bring out the rest of the guys to just destroy Luke one by one.
Luke, we didn't have any immediate drama, you and I, but I, for one, am thankful for you because you're making me look like a freaking saint.
And it's very cathartic, but we should not have gotten to this place. Like, Luke S. asks him, hey, why did you lie to Hannah about me and effectively end my time on the show?
Well, why did you do that?
And he just completely shuts down because the answer is that he's a horrible person.
I feel that Luke hasn't learned a thing whatsoever. I think that you are a narcissistic, a cantankerous, a misogynist.
Mike dusted off his thesaurus before he came out. The worst part of this is that Hannah comes out and feels like she has to apologize for Luke P as if it's her fault.
I just want to say, Bachelor Nation, I'm sorry.
You hate to see it. So with Luke vanquished, we're down to our final three. Peter the pilot, Tyler C, the perfect, and Jed, the quote-unquote musician slash megamind. Is that body shaming? I feel like I can say it because I too have a 5 head. So before we jump into the Jed saga, Peter gets eliminated. It's really sad. He took Hannah up in a plane, took her to his hometown and introduced her to his family, each member of which independently cried, which is adorable. They share a meal, which starts, of course, by screaming in German.
Freilich, freilich, freilich.
In the end, Peter was just too good at sex. So he gets eliminated. And then he's forced to do an interview with Android 16, who is trying very hard to convince us that he understands human emotion.
I see the tears in your eyes. I look around this studio audience, tears and your mom and dad, your brother, tears, and I can see the emotion in your face.
And then they also brought his family, presumably to see if they could get them to cry. They can. And Chris Harrison, who is slowly but surely developing self-awareness.
It is, dare I say, the most dramatic season of Paradise yet. That's right, I said it. You're welcome.
Goes from implying that they shouldn't talk about sex in front of Peter's mom.
Peter's mom is right there.
To saying that his dad should be proud of how good his son is at sex in like 5 seconds.
Peter's dad, his chest just puffed up.
Because that's just the kind of old-fashioned show this is. Anyway, it's now down to Tyler C, who, need I remind you, is literally perfect, and fucking Jed. So let's get into Jed. We're meant to believe that Jed is a musician because it's literally all he talks about for the whole season.
I'm a musician and a songwriter.
And he's singing songs at every opportunity.
And Hannah.
Oh, me?
And they're all so bad.
I wanna come inside.
Why did they subject us to this? There's definitely a double standard for how much this dude is promoting himself, because very early in the show, right after Luke P body slammed man's best friend, bless his little heart, Luke P told Hannah that Luke S was only on the show for his tequila business.
Like, he's always talking about his brand and his liquor company, and I've never heard him talk about you.
Which isn't true because he never talked about it, and also it doesn't exist.
Which isn't even a business yet.
But he got eliminated because that's unacceptable. Meanwhile, Jed, who is literally singing and playing guitar at every waking moment, has a sit down with Hannah where you're usually supposed to share like something very personal, like open up or whatever about some hardship. The Bachelor is very formulaic.
This is hard to talk about, I'm sorry.
And the troubling story that Jed chooses to tell is how he initially got on the show, wait for it, for his music career.
This is like a huge platform.
But then, whoopsie doopsie, he fell in love.
I was open to the idea because I love love. I do, I love the idea of it.
And now he's just here for love. He's not here for his music career anymore at all. Nope, no way, just love. And Hannah's just like, cool, thanks for being honest. Over the entire season, everyone at every corner is telling Hannah that Jed is only here for his music career, including his family.
I mean, it is kind of a dreamy way to get to date someone.
Yeah.
And I know Jed's just another guy.
But he's not.
Oh, yeah.
Hannah asked Jed's mom and sister if he would be ready for marriage, and they both say no.
Do you feel like Jed would be at a point in his life where he would be ready for that?
I wouldn't have felt that way before, just because he's a musician.
Yeah.
You don't get a diploma to be a musician.
Well, that's not true.
Does that worry you at all? Like, he couldn't completely focus on his music.
Making the music makes him so happy, and honestly, like, him potentially falling in love with you, I'm not sure that it's a good thing.
This family doesn't give a shit. And then Hannah's family meets Jed and also hate him.
Well, how do you feel about Jed and I together?
He has qualities.
And for some reason, the only thing Hannah wants to talk about is how they're gonna make money, as if they're not gonna use their millions of Instagram followers to sell subscription vitamins.
But still, the man of the house still has his obligations too.
Somebody should really tell these people about influencer marketing. Through his conversations with Hannah's family, we find out that Jed's claim to fame is, wait for it, a dog food jingle.
You know, at this point, my most major accomplishment is that I signed a deal with a dog food company.
Don't worry about my ability to take care of your daughter, good sir, for I have written a jingle.
The dog really does deserve the best, so go pick him up some better balls.
Need I mention his Spotify, which has a whopping 30,000 subscribers, which was brought to my attention when Danny Gonzalez, who was a contestant on The Bachelorette, tweeted about this. He only has 3 songs, and he hasn't released anything since The Bachelor came out. Shouldn't he be trying to capitalize on this? Not like I'm his manager or anything, but it seems like a missed opportunity. Somehow none of this deters Hannah, and he makes it to the final 2, where Hannah turns down Tyler, who is perfect. And Jed, who enters the scene with guitar in hand, proposes with a song, and it's the cringiest thing in the world.
After all that you've been through.
I really like that.
And he still wins?
I'm engaged, you're engaged, we're engaged.
We're engaged together.
Wow.
We're getting married.
Alexa, what do you think of this?
Can only be described as cringeworthy.
Nice. What's that?
It's an ending that no one expected, least of all Hannah.
Plot twist alert. Conveniently, and with just enough time before the end of the season, a People magazine article comes out from someone claiming to be Jed's girlfriend, where she details how he got on the show for his music career. Shocker, despite their very serious relationship, he ghosted her to be on the show. And then the show like suddenly shifts into a Shane Dawson documentary where we're now like airing out this couple's dirty laundry in public. And now is where it's suddenly clear that this guy only cares about himself.
I didn't have a girlfriend, though. So to me, that didn't feel like it was a relationship.
He claims that they weren't boyfriend-girlfriend, but then goes on to say that they went on multiple trips together. He had met her family. Her parents had gotten them a trip to the Bahamas for his birthday.
And I told her that I loved her.
We only hung out a couple of times, but she threw me a surprise birthday party. Her parents bought us a trip to the Bahamas together. It's perfectly normal stuff. What else? Oh, also I told her that I loved her, but it was this.
I'm so not proud of it.
He's just so bad at acting.
I don't want to cry on camera.
1, you're not about to cry on camera, let's be real. 2, so what? What do you mean? This entire show is about crying on camera. Do you think crying on camera is gonna make you look worse? So we find out all these ridiculous things that have happened since the show ended. Like Jed had been bragging to his friends that he won the show rather than like, I don't know, saying that you're engaged to the love of your life.
I got engaged to someone I love, which is a better way of saying it.
Also, some like random models showed up at his hotel room and he partied with them.
Yeah, we didn't even know who they were.
Well, you threw him in a pool.
Did.
So how did he end things when he went on the show? Easy. He didn't. He broke up with her in his heart.
To me, I ended it in my heart, not verbally. I know.
So they broke up, and then they have to do what The Bachelor does and have a live show where they bring out Jed. And the best part is just how awkward the lack of applause is when he walks out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jed.
So he sucks, but then they bring out Tyler. And they allude to a potential rekindling of their romance.
Did you just ask Tyler out on a date?
And I think that nobody told Chris Harrison that the show is over because he keeps trying to embed himself in their personal lives.
So just so we're clear, we're gonna have a go at this.
No, Chris Harrison, they're going to have a go at this.
I think I speak for everybody when we can ship this.
Ew. So the show is over. Did Tyler and Hannah finally get together? Probably not, because Tyler's like dating Gigi Hadid now or something. The reason I wanted to talk about the show is that it likes to pretend that it's like helping these good old-fashioned people find love, but in practice, it's just another reality show. In fact, it's probably more dishonest, because at least like Real Housewives knows what it is and isn't trying to present it as this more like polished thing. Also, it's funny to me that between this season and last season, they're getting more and more ridiculous in the ways that people don't get married on the marriage game show. I think the show is fun to watch, mostly because of the community around the show and the content around the show rather than like the show itself. But I also think that like they need to get better because they like to act like they're in on the joke, but if you're fixating on Luke P's toxic behavior for an entire season, I find that pretty like I find that pretty lacking in self-awareness. Like they definitely spent a lot of time towards the end backtracking the initial decisions they made and trying to like lay into Luke P and like lay into Jed for being like awful people. But maybe just don't have them in the first place next time. That's an idea. So where do we go from here? I, for one, will be catching up on Bachelor in Paradise now that I'm done with this video, and patiently awaiting them to announce Mike as the next Bachelor. Also, his last name is Johnson, but no relation, I think. Thanks to everyone who did the survey that I posted about a while back, but specifically thanks to Leilani V. Givanim Tizan. Ooh, I have no idea if I'm saying that right. If you want me to butcher your name, you can, if you want me to butcher your name, follow me on Instagram and send me a message about it and tell me what to butcher and follow me. Because if you're not following me, I just won't pick you. Oh, and one other update is I've been traveling a lot and kind of stressed out about stuff. I'm moving pretty soon, so I'm gonna take a few weeks break after this video, and then I'll be back of equal or lesser quality than before. See ya.